because recently one of my viewers asked me if I could do more Prepper's Pantry recipes, so I'm going to do that. We're going to make some chicken noodle soup today, and the reason that I'm making that today is because yesterday I canned up a whole bunch of chicken stock that I recently made, and my daughter is in the other room laughing her butt off. I have no reason to understand why, but we're just going to ignore her and pretend she's not here today. Okay, so let's see what goes into this. I ended up canning, I ended up with 21 jars, pints of my chicken stock. And it's really, really pretty. And there's very little fat in it. And I was able to fit 16 of those jars in my canner. So 5 of them had to go in the fridge. So that means Monday night we're making chicken noodle soup for dinner. I'm just going to go over the ingredients. I thought this was a really great opportunity to show you how to use some of those dehydrated vegetables that you have in your food storage, if you have them in your food storage. But I've got 3 pints of chicken stock, 1 pint of chicken. I have got one of these little 7-ounce bags of broken up pasta. These are a great thing to get in your food storage because these bags at Walmart are less than 50 cents a piece. And usually this can be found in the Latin food section. If you've never taken the opportunity to go either to your local store or the Walmart and look in the Latin food section, you can really find some amazing values to put in your food storage there. So we're going to go with our vegetables. We've got some freeze-dried peas. All of these larger containers are a 1/4 cup each. So a 1/4 cup of freeze-dried peas, a 1/4 cup of dehydrated carrots, 1/4 cup of dehydrated celery, 1/4 cup of dehydrated spinach, 1/4 cup of dehydrated onion, and then we have a tablespoon of dehydrated garlic, a tablespoon of poultry seasoning, a half of the lemon we're going to squeeze in there. This may or may not be in your food storage, but if you dehydrate lemons or preserve lemons, you can throw some of those slices of preserved lemons in your chicken soup, or you can just throw some dehydrated lemons slices right in the soup and cook it, and then it will flavor and brighten the soup very nicely.
Does lemon juice ever go bad?
That's a really good question. I seriously doubt it because we put lemon juice in things to preserve them. We're also going to put some pepper and some sea salt. So what we're going to do to get started here first is I'm going to get my big 8-cup measure here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my vegetables in here. I have about 4 cups of water that I heated in the microwave. So boiling water. Okay, I know that in a situation we're probably not going to have a microwave, but you never know. Things may just get bad. Oh, sorry. And I'll put the poultry seasoning in there too. And I'm going to put all of this in here. And I'm going to give this a stir. And now I'm going to go do something else for about 20 minutes. And when I come back, we're going to throw this soup together, lickety-split. And we're going to have this with some bread and butter. And you're not going to believe how easy it is. And if you make this, you're not going to believe how delicious it is. And you made it from everything out of your food storage. So this is going to sleep for just a little while, take a nice warm nap, and we'll be back in a little while. I went ahead, and it's been about 20 minutes. I drained because I wanted you to see. I put 4 cups of water in there, and there's just about 2 cups left. I drained it back in there. Now, we're not going to throw that away because look at the color of that broth that the vegetables rehydrated in. That's flavor. We don't want to throw that out. Plus, we're going to need a little extra when we make the soup. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put, I don't know, about a tablespoon or so of oil in the bottom of my pan. And what I want to do is I want to saute these vegetables just a little. Not a lot. I want to just get them in there, give them a little oil, flavor of the olive oil, and I think it'll just richen the soup up all that much more. In the meantime, while that's heating up, I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to open up my canned chicken. And you know this is really good. Listen, that is a heck of a vacuum. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drain that right in there. We don't want to lose any of that good liquid either. This lid goes in the trash. Never save your lids from the pressure canning if you've dented them. When I pulled it out with my little claw off of my can opener, my swing away can opener, the only kind of can opener one should have, this sometimes tends to bend the lip up. And let's open these up. And these are the ones out of the refrigerator, and I did not pressure can them. And Rick thought that these were fresh, but I want you to see how little fat is in these. Hardly any at all. In fact, so little that I'm not even going to skim it, because it's just going to richen the flavor of the soup. So let's see here how we're doing. We're almost there. It's not quite ripply enough for me, but we're getting there. And yes, I would like to thank you for asking me to do more Prepper's Pantry. I've been thinking on that, and it is something that I need to do. The holidays are coming, and I'm working on the holiday series as well. Yeah, that's good enough to get us started. But we should never stop thinking about different ways to use our preps, because like I've said before, it does us absolutely no good to have all of these wonderful things in our food storage if the day comes and we don't know how to use them. That cooled the pan down quite a bit, so I'm just going to turn the heat up just a skosh.
Even that smells good.
It smells really good, doesn't it? And this is just our vegetables. And I want you to see, like, the peas here. You know, they're nice. They're just like a fresh pea. Because they were fresh before they freeze-dried them. Okay, that's probably enough to get those flavors to start mingling and get all those veggies nice and situated in there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chicken out of the jar, and I'm just going to kind of gently break it up in here. Rinse my hands off. Give this a toss too. And that's a pint of chicken. It's going to be plenty for this pot of soup. And when all is said and done, this pot of soup is probably easily going to be able to feed, I'd say 8 to 10 hungry people. In an SHTF situation, when we're rationing and we have to stretch our food, this could easily feed 12 to 15 people if you had... perhaps if you bulk it up with rice instead of pasta, and then serve bread on the side. We're going to serve bread on the side. And, you know, bread tends to fill you up a little faster. So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to add the steeping liquor back into the pot. Two of these jars here of chicken stock.
Turn that down.
And the third jar of chicken stock. We'll bring this to a simmer. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to grind some pepper here. And my fancy dancy extra special for pepper mill that I got for present. Okay, we're going to use about that much. I'd say it's at least a teaspoon. And I like my pepper cracked on a little on the coarse side, so. And some sea salt. Like, if you don't like to add additional salt, don't. This is your call. If you're on a salt-restricted diet, instead of salt, add the other half of the lemon. And that will help brighten the stock. It will also be a nice salt substitute. Okay. So, this is a 6C. Let's see if my calculations or estimations are correct. 6-quart stock pot, which means about half full, which means we've got about 3 quarts. And there's 4 cups to a quart, so that's 12. So, is 12 1-cup servings at this point. If you were to add more water, which we may add after we add the pasta in here, it may suck up some of this liquid. And I may add another jar of stock because I have 2 more jars in the fridge. In fact, I'm going to do that. That's what we're talking about. Something bugging you?
I can't stand it. I'm stuck to the side.
So there is our 4th jar of chicken stock. That means there's 2 quarts of chicken stock in here. So 2 quarts of chicken stock, and so I still say 12 to 15 servings, 1 cup each, depending. Once we get the pasta in here, we'll see, and then we're going to taste it for seasoning. So I'm going to bring that to a boil, and then we're going to put the pasta in, but I'll come back before I do that so you can see what it does. Okay, we're just coming to a boil, and I realized that I forgot. I wanted to put about a teaspoon of parsley flakes. This is what this is. Just because I like the freshness of flavor that parsley adds to a chicken stock. And yes, I put parsley when I made the stock, but this dried parsley boosts that flavor all the more. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this whole package in here. And I'm going to let this simmer until the pasta is finished. And then we will be back to fix you a bowl of Prepper's Pantry food storage chicken noodle soup. And there is something I wanted to mention, and I'll have Rick come bring the camera over so we can talk about that. I was thinking, you don't have to limit yourself to just the pasta. You can put any kind of pasta. It doesn't matter. But rice, quinoa, couscous, barley, even bulgur wheat, which is wheat berries that have been boiled and then dried out again. They're just for quicker rehydration. You could use any of those things to bulk up your soup. And in a situation where we may not wish to be, but we have to use these things, then it gives us, we have to have options, because if we don't have options, we're going to suffer from appetite fatigue. And nobody wants to eat beans and rice 7 days a week, and I think that we all agree that that's one of the reasons that we do this. Variety is the spice of life, and having all of these things available to us is very, very important. Not just because of this, but because we have to be concerned nutritionally what we put into our bodies in a stressful situation. This soup is highly nutritive and is full of all kinds of goodness that is going to feed our bodies and our souls and our minds. So, this is boiling away. I'm going to go. When the pasta's finished and it's time to eat, then we'll come back and fix you a bowl of this delicious soup. Alright, here we go. Our noodles are cooked. Our soup is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ladle up a ladle of stuff from the bottom, and then I'm going to top it off with broth. That, I have to tell you, it smells really amazing. And the taste that we took earlier of the soup was wonderful.
It's perfect.
Now, the only thing I would add, and this is the Italian in me, I like to put Parmesan cheese on my chicken soup. So that's what I would do. And I'm going to put some bread and butter next to that. So there's the butter bell. And here's a loaf of French bread that I took out of the freezer and thawed out in the microwave. And there you have it. Prepper's Pantry chicken soup from food storage. Give it a try. I think once you do, you'll be pleasantly surprised. I hope you try it, and I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see ya!